Right. Well, hi. I was not ready to go live yet, but it's happening. I ain't got headphones on even.
Perfect.
Look, the notification came up on my phone over there. Listen, listen, listen. I was about to take this back. Okay, that brings up another topic we're going to talk about, and that is my mouth. That's what most of this episode is going to be about while I promo this for you. Okay, look, this is what's really happening. First of all, welcome to the Mindful MIsfit. Caught me a little bit off guard. Caught me. I think I'm the one that pressed the button. Here's what's really going on though. I'm by myself today, flying solo. And this is the Mindful MIsfit podcast from the Spiritualish Collective. I am Alove. To my right would normally be Lizzy B, but she is out of town tending to family, lovely, beautiful, blossoming, amazing family things. And I am here holding it down in the fort, our last week here. And that brings us to what I am feeling in the collective. We have a really good show for you. And I say that because I'm just going off the top, going off the cuff. I'm going to talk about some things that I have been experiencing in regards to downloads and upgrades and what's happening in the collective. And then also, we are going to have a chat with the MF Magician, my homeboy, who seems to be right now in regards to the Instagram space, like leading the forefront in cutting edge union talk. And I'm talking about divine union talk, which is all the like rage and all of the chat and all of the everything in the spiritual community. But nobody really knows what any of it means. He and I have been piecing this together just individually in our own lives, and we had a beautiful mashup. We're homies for real now. And with his experience combined with my own individual experience, hopefully we can make sense of what is actually happening out here in these union fields, in these grids, everything. It's a Scorpio new moon we just passed through. Everything is brand new. I'm going to get these headphones on and then we're going to do it. Okay. I don't hear myself. I hear myself now, but I don't now. Oh, and I do. Yeah. Oh, oh. Is that what Mariah Carey is like in the studio? Oh. No? Okay, now I can hear myself. I'm talking to Shay, the show producer over there. She and I are holding it down, and my ew, but and my youngest homie, by homie, I mean my youngest child is also in studio, and that brings me back to the topic that I actually had at hand, which was that I wanted to start with. I did hear it. Did y'all hear it? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just kidding mostly. I'm being silly. It's going to be one of those shows. What did I want to say? To start with, let's start here. I have been experiencing a massive awakening when it comes to my consciousness for some time. I say it like that because that's on my website on beingalove.com. And I use it as like a reference point for all the things. But like really, I'm having a massive awakening in my consciousness right now. I feel like a brand new, completely new person. And I'm going to tell you what has happened, what has transpired. I haven't talked. I haven't talked very much. I haven't spoken very much about like my own personal experience here on this platform. Those of you who are transplants coming to me, coming to this show, coming to our show from another platform. Maybe you know me from Booty, maybe you know me from Break Method, maybe you know me from Instagram, maybe you know me from my actual real life. And if you do, then you are already privy to this information. Maybe you actually know me from the blog Confessions from the Cancer House, which is what I'm going to go into right now. Um, I had some real thoughts about that last night in regards to my awakening and downloads and new information coming in and how I'm a brand new person. I wrote a blog some years back as a way to process an experience that I was having in my family and just in my life. It consumed my entire life. My husband was diagnosed with cancer in 2014. That date of his diagnosis actually coincides with the birth of my youngest child. Interesting how life works. But as a result of that, in a way that I wanted to process what it was that I was experiencing in regards to the trauma, and I always felt led to process things was through writing. I am an English lit media communications copywriter. I have a storied history with writing. And so I uh, dove completely into a blog that was truly, truly just for me and just for my heart and just for our family and friends to keep up with the experience that we were having. As I look over at Shay, this is trust. This is the trust. I look over at Shay and producing the show, and we have a guest today. So she's got my phone. We're going to use the phone to do the broadcast on another platform. And I look over and she's like scrolling through my messages. I realize these messages are messages that she and I share. It's probably our group text, but just to see, look over at somebody just like straight up like this, just like moving through. And I'm like, oh shit, that's my phone. That's awesome. All she gotta see is probably, well, my son's in the room. Uh, so back to that, the levels of trust. We've got it going on for sure. At 222, 222. Somebody else sent me 222, which brings me to another topic today. So we've got downloads at 717. We've got downloads. We've got integration. We've got awakening. We've got awakening the, I think I just repeated myself, consciousness, but we have synchronicities and that's happening too. So what I wanted to run through relatively quickly, just to give you some context, let me draw it back. Okay. Is that I started a blog to chronicle the experience that I was having as the wife of a young person with a terminal illness. And we knew it was terminal from the beginning. And that writing was deeply cathartic for me, and it was also, funny in a lot of ways. It was incredibly real in other ways. It was moving, and this is just me, like, reading that information back, reading the writing back to myself. And I was laying in bed last night, and we don't get a choice when these downloads and things, "Hey, son, what you doing over there?" I'm not talking to the imaginary man off screen. He's real. He's over there. It's my son messing with the lights. So it's not a ghost. We are not having Halloween hangovers. Although I could also go into how thin the veil is as well. But I digress. Laying in bed last night, thinking about and the creativity is just like exploding. And I'm going to talk to when I get on with Jay in just a minute. I'm going to talk to him about union and how that opens up so many doors for people. So the creativity is flowing, and I'm thinking about all these avenues that I want to explore with people and explore within myself and within my art as an artist. Never thought I would ever be able to say that out loud in front of people that I am an artist, but I am a creative. Somebody called me that yesterday, and I was like, yeah, you already know. You got my number. That's why we out here to make things. So I'm very interested in bringing the blog back, Confessions from the Cancer House, but this is like phase 2 because what's happened is I have, experienced this deep awakening, right? I said that. But it's happening in a way that I never could have imagined. I didn't think that I had this depth in me, this depth of love and understanding and compassion and all of these things as a result of really, really coming into union with myself. And when I talk about it's harvest time, it is harvest time. There are so many things that I have on my plate that I want to create and create for people and create for my family and create for myself and create for my man and my parents, and all of you people who are eventually going to be listening to this because I know it, I feel it. God has already told me about it, right? And so what I've also experienced is this in conjunction with this massive awakening is like this incredible, like almost overwhelming re reestablishment of my relationship uh with God. Like it's like on another level now. And because I have reestablished this connection, I only want to like I never thought that I would feel this way because I grew up in the church. I grew up religious. I grew up church on twice on Sunday, Wednesday nights. If I didn't go to church, I was gonna be in trouble. And so instead of, having this love for kind of the establishment that is church, right? The fundamentalism, instead of having a love and a need for it in my life, I was totally turned off to it. I didn't want anything to do with that, the dogma aspect, the religious aspect of Christianity, and the religious aspect of God. But this thing that's happening to me with this union within, the union within is actually this union, this the reunion within myself in truly, truly reconnecting with God. And what it's causing in me is to look at the things that I'm doing. Yeah, have you ever seen me in this much clothes before? Never. Some of y'all already know. No, and it's not because I'm feeling like I need to be chased. It's not because I'm feeling like I need to, I'm having this like the pendulum has swung all the way in the other direction. It's not like that. And I feel like I need to, be pious and all of these things. It's not about that. It's about how can I best be of service? That is the only question that I'm asking these days. How can I be of better service? And I wonder I wonder if I can be of better service if I deliver a message without all the extras, right? Without I gotta I got loose lips in the profanity department. And my children have been on me about it for some time. They stay on me. I can't around them. But when I'm in mixed company and it's time to just be a love and just be loose and like let it all hang out, right? Man, these F's and S's and things start flying. And I wonder within myself if that is me being of great service. For me personally, I don't think so. I don't know about that. And so I'm exploring that. So it's good that my son is in the studio today because I also want to live for them. I want to live my life in front of them in a way that I can't even believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say, in a way that glorifies God, because God is doing so much in me, and within my heart and within my body, like truly within my body. All of these things I've heard before since I was a young child, did not understand what they meant right now, what they meant by being filled with the Holy Spirit. I didn't know what that meant. I knew it looked like church ladies, like clapping like this, and they doing double clap. Y'all didn't know I could do that. I told you, multi-talented. Um, That's what I thought it was, but now understand that being filled with the Holy Spirit is having this understanding of how the world works around us, and then having this almost overwhelming need to share it with everybody because my life is different. It's better. I just popped off about some things that were going on here in the studio with just Shay and my son here in the studio. Popped off. And in the past, I probably would have taken that with me and walked my happy self downstairs and found the person that I felt maybe they might not even be, that I felt was responsible for the situation and let them have it. And righteously, like with righteous indignation, I knew that I deserved to be able to say these words to this person because they did this thing to me. And instead, listen, I'm gonna let go and let God. Because I already know the promise on my life. I already knew that this was coming. I saw it coming some time ago. I also know that what God has waiting for us and what Holy Spirit wants to channel through me uh, uh, is above everything else. I know that. It's true. I feel it. I know it. I know it in my interactions with people. I know it when I touch people. I know it when I teach. I see it in my family. I see it in my man's eyes. I see it in my mother's eyes. She looking at me sideways. Get up in the morning. She's like, "Who is this? I mean, I knew you had it in you, but who is this? You out here helping the people? Like for real, for real?" I can get with that. And having that, I said that some time ago I was gonna put my head down. I was a teacher, for many years, for 10 years. The last year that I was teaching and my husband was still at home sick, and I was feeling like so conflicted between being here and there, meaning being at home and caring for him, and then still having my duties at school. I was sitting in a teachers meeting and I said, I'm not gonna work anymore. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna take care of my family. I'm gonna lose this weight because I was probably 25 pounds heavier than I am now. I'm gonna lose this weight. I'm gonna get back to fighting shape and I'm gonna wreck shop. God already told me it's a promise. This is a promise being fulfilled. So if that many years ago, that promise is now being fulfilled, I have no choice but to believe that this same promise that's coming true right now, this harvest time that is coming true right now is true for this present situation. So there is no need for me to go stompy stomp downstairs and meh, 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 meh. Imma let God handle that. He already knows. I already know. You can't mess with all of this here. Can't mess with all of this here. And the same can be true for you. I am proselytizing. I never thought that I would be, I mean, let's just say it like quietly, preaching on the internet. But I feel it. And I want you to know that there is something else greater out there for you if you are looking for something, a change in situations, but it starts in here and it starts in your heart. You got to start here. And then you got to listen. And so that's when we get to synchronicities. But we're going to talk about that in a minute because a lot of the synchronicities that I'm feeling are really as a result of the union that has taken place within me, my reconnection with Holy Spirit and God and Yeshua, and how that is playing out in my life in my own actual earthly union that's taking place between me and Big Easy. And my face lights up when I talk about Big Easy because he is everything. And but also I'm everything. And so you get everything and everything together. That is everything. Everything is everything. Okay. But if you are struggling today, I just laugh because these are things that I heard that when I was younger that I thought was just a bunch of nonsense hooey. But I know in my 41, almost 42 years in 2 days, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. In 2 days, what I know in my 42 years is that that is true. If you are struggling today, there is an answer. But anyways, I'ma digress one more again. Confessions from the Cancer House is coming back. Trent, my deceased husband, left us a lot of notes. And one of the things that I'm planning on incorporating with the blog is a lot of his writing that he did. He's one of my greatest spiritual teachers ever and still remains that way. He's still very much spiritually. Ooh, did y'all see that floaty? It's timely. Very much spiritually a part of my life and my journey. And what's even more beautiful and why I know that I love Big Easy with my entire everything, my entire being, is that is a relationship, my relationship with Trent, my deceased love, and my relationship with Big Easy, my current and forever love. Um, he makes space for me to incorporate him in my life now and makes space for him, Big Easy, to incorporate Trent into his own life. And he said some things to me that I thought that I would never have the opportunity to hear from another human being, especially a man that I had allowed into my life until this person came. But it was because I had to love myself first and hold myself in a space of value in order to let go of those things that were not for me, then that basically didn't deserve me. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. We're going to switch just a few gears, but I have a feeling we're going to end up probably talking about some of these same things. So uh, this is a DM slide, I'll be real honest, but it's like a totally platonic DM slide. My the guest that we're about to have on right now, you can find him on Instagram just like I did. He is a very gifted and talented and actually gifted, talented, connected, insightful. I could probably really go on and on. Funny, irreverent, inappropriate, inappropriate, um, um, Instagram personality, right? And it's not just what's funny, I could say IG personality or IG influencer or all of these things, right? But I mean, it's so much more than that. And I could say teacher. I think that's where we're moving into. That's what I see the evolution of this person being is moving into this a teaching capacity, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing and something that I think is really necessary for the people because I see the people eating it up. I see the people eating it up. Jay,
Hey yo, what's good?
how you doing?
I am doing blessed on this Friday evening. I'm out the country right now, so we're in different time zones, but I'm doing blessed today. How are you?
I'm terrific. I just want to say, I mean, thank you for just listening through all of that. Am I on here? Yeah, I can. So I'm just adjusting some things here on our end tech, on the tech side. Um, so I called him Jay, but your Instagram handle, multiple of them.
It is the MFN Magician.
MFN Magician. And then you have a backup account too. I want people to have that as well.
Yes, I have my backup account is Spiritually Awake 15D. So I handle both of those accounts as of right now. I do a lot of. I actually upload reads on both of them, but the magician account is more so kind of like a little bit of my personality blended. A little bit more. You get kind of like I wouldn't say the real me. I mean, you guess you kind of do. You get the real me with no filters because I've learned to not sugarcoat myself. And for some odd reason, they're playing a lot of fireworks in my background. But
because listen, we at 16:44. I just want you to know that you have been on with me right now for when you said that for 16 minutes and 44 seconds. 16. We're gonna dip into some magic right now. 16 translates to 7 for me. 7 is my number. We already know the 44. We already know what that is.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
because
yeah.
this is we're making magic,
We
magician.
are.
Yeah, yeah, I
They are
love it.
really playing these fireworks. I love it.
It's great. What's going on? So you're in London now.
Yes, I am. My journey ended up taking me from Detroit, Michigan, all the way to London, United Kingdom. I never thought that I would end up leaving the country. I wanted to always move to a different state, like California or New York or Florida or something like that. But I never thought that like my life journey would literally take me out of the country. So that was a very interesting transition for myself.
Did
But
you wait? I
I've
have a
just
question.
learned.
Did you officially move? Did you make the move? Are you planning to make the move?
Oh, I've been over here for the last 6 weeks.
I know you have been, but are you there? Temp to perm?
Yeah, I'm still here right now. I'm still here
Yes.
now.
I love it. I love it. I love everything
Yeah.
that I'm seeing and how it's unfolding and how you are sharing with people like your journey, because it's so important. And I told you this is what we connected on to begin with. It's so important that people see how this plays out, how it's playing out for
Yeah.
people and how it's playing out for regular everyday folks. Like, as much as you and I are connected and in this kind of in this other realm and seeing things from a different perspective, we're still regular everyday people experiencing these
Oh
things.
yes, of
And
course.
so
That's
living
why I'm
it,
like,
yeah,
me.
go ahead.
No. But yeah, just to kind of piggyback off what you were saying, like it's a very interesting journey, especially once you start to collapse different timelines that isn't your authentic timeline, as you were speaking about earlier on the podcast of coming into deeper levels of inner union with yourself. And in that process of you coming into inner union with yourself, we start to shift ourselves off of karmic timelines that may have been created from a state of repressed emotions or different shadows that we have to face within ourselves, or different voids or different connections that no longer fulfills us. And once we start to kind of love ourselves and embody that on all levels, that vibration alone, it shifts you to where you're supposed to be and your authentic path. And I personally cause like you were saying, you come from a background where the last 10 years, I think you said you were a teacher.
I was
A restaurant manager.
nice.
And I was restaurant manager since for like over the course of the last 10 years. But then as I got deeper into that career pathway, it's like spirit was not playing with me. Like I kept
not
my job.
Not one bit. Like pulled all the gloves off.
No, yeah. I'm like, yo, I've been working on this career for like 10. I'm like, for the last 10 years. Like, what you mean this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing? it's like, you gotta take that trust and that leap of faith that like you're moving into bigger and better things. And that's what happened. Like you said, regular old people like you and me. And here we are in alignment with spirit and alignment with ourselves, sharing our journey and possibly opening doors for other people that have to make this transition to step into their space of authenticity.
I would imagine that you probably have this experience too, but the experience that I have in regards to that last thing you said with the opening doors for other people is that when I feel like, oh, well, this ain't for me, I need to close up shop. I'm done. I'm not sharing with these people no more. They don't want to hear anything that I have to say. It's an echo chamber. That's when I get the synchronicities come in and I start to spirits like, hey, but listen, and I'll get a message and somebody will be like, I really appreciate you being back and sharing the way that you share, because it's exactly what I needed to hear, exactly when I needed to hear it. And I'm spurred on again. I get renewed energy to keep running this race. It's a marathon. It's not a track meet.
Yeah.
How are things like what do you feel like? First of all, there's some things that I know about what's happening there with you guys that maybe some of the listeners and some of even your audience may not know. One of the things that I think is probably what stands out to me, what I want to ask you about probably the most, is this age difference. You guys have an age difference between the two of you. Over here on my end, our age difference is only 3 years, but even the 3 years, in some before with the programming that I had received about what relationships were supposed to look like, 3 years, woman being older, I'm older than he is, was like, oh my God, that's taboo. We don't do that.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
My divine feminine, she's 19 years older than me.
It was wild to me.
And we get along great.
And I love
And
it.
I've never. Yeah, I love it. She loves it. We love it. People love it, and we really compliment one another. Um, and it was interesting because when I was, in the process of coming into alignment for myself, and I was like imagining what my divine feminine was or where she was, I never, and no wonder I didn't find her because she wasn't even in the country. So I was kind of like forced to like have to really do that, come into inner alignment with myself and not go seeking her or looking for her. Because when I was doing that in not necessarily in a chasing energy and not really in a when I was more in like a chasing looking energy and not in the energy of receiving, I kept attracting myself to different connections that just wasn't healthy for me, or there was something that was mirrored to me that I still have yet to have realized within myself. So a lot of my connections in the States were just putting me into deeper levels of realizations and awareness. And it's like once I truly detached from looking or inquiring about it, I was so focused on myself. It's like spirit just opened the door for her to enter into my timeline, and we end up crossing timelines. And I kind of felt like they kind of kept her out of my awareness because I really truly wasn't ready to receive her.
I know all about that.
Because
Shay's over here looking
I
at
had to reach a
me.
state of maturity first.
For sure. Shay, the show producer, is over here looking at me with her third eye, bearing it so far into my own third eye that I can hear her thoughts right now. And what she's saying she was like, you guys have the same story. I did exactly the same thing. I was on the hunt. I was believing the hype about a woman can go out and find her man. Like, go and get the thing that you want. Go and get him. Go and find him. Go and confront that. Let him know how you're feeling about him, and like doing all those things. I had never done that before in my life. And baby, when I tell you that I fell flat on my face, it was not a good move and it was not a good look. And I had to take it all the way back inside and really revisit who I am and who I was at the time. And what's interesting is that I actually had a psychic, very talented psychic. She has since become incredibly ungrounded. But at the time, which is, that's a whole other subject that we can talk about, is how what's happening in the spiritual community with people with gifts. But some time ago, 2 years ago, I had an activation from a psychic, and in a QHHT, quantum, is that it?
Wasn't it QIC?
QIC, thank you, quantum inner child healer. And she saw my partner now back then, and she asked me, do you want to take the long way around, or do you want to fast track straight to him? And I was like, well, yeah, I just had love on my mind. I just want to fast track. I just want to get there as soon as I can. And so we did that activation, and the fast track was the most painful thing I have ever experienced. And on that timeline, and now I count it all to the good because of the end result, or what is really feels like the end, but it's really only the beginning. In that fast track, I also bumped fully 100% up against my false twin, and was completely lost in that and chasing that thing. And it ate up so much of, I don't want to say my time, but it really was, I can say it ate up a lot of my time for sure. And that's really all that we get anyways. But it ate up a lot of who I was. But what it also gave me, and that's why I will ultimately be forever thankful to this person, was this whole new perspective about my worth. And that was a catalyst to send me back into this space where I was concerned about me and what I was doing, and my connection to source, and my connection and to my spirit guides, and how I was moving in the world. And if I had met Big Easy, and I did meet Big Easy in this time when I was going through this thing with my false twin, same time. And I didn't see him because I was looking over here. I didn't see him at all. I wasn't ready. Neither one of us is ready. But once I came into this place where I had once I came into this place where I had really allowed, I always say this in my teaching, allowed for spirit to take the lead and allowed for that union to take place. Man, it was like really the veil was lifted. Everything was removed from my eyes, and I was able to see this man who was there, was there just basically waiting for me as my actual counterpart, my true twin. Did you have you what was your recovery first of all? Do you want to run through what a twin flame is and what a false twin is for the people?
I would explain this for the best of my abilities because I've had various experiences, and that's so interesting. The same thing happened in my we had already crossed timelines. I just didn't know it was her.
Mm.
And I'm happy how it happened because Spirit had put her in my awareness, and we were good friends. But I didn't know that she was my counterpart. It didn't get revealed. It didn't get revealed to me until like you said, I had released my control over the journey and how it was unfolding, and truly started to just allow, like you said, things to unfold naturally. And then that's when like my guides and everything brought her into my awareness on a deeper level. Now the thing with like between like the false and the actual counterpart is the false the false twin experience is sort of like a catalyst to kind of help you prepare for the actual twin flame experience. There's a lot of lessons there. It could be potentially like the connection was founded from a base of like codependency or from shadows or repressed emotions. There's a lot of inner child wounds that are going to come to the surface from that connection. There's a lot of realizations. Typically, the false twin flame experience is what triggers people to having their spiritual awakening process and start to go inward, because it will be, no matter how much you try to align with this person or come into alignment fully to kind of foster growth and a foundation, is like something will either always be missing, or it'll be off, or it'll seem like it's forced, or oh, I'm sorry, you wanted to say something?
Oh no, I didn't. I was just the church, the whole church just said amen.
Yes, it'll seem like it's forced, or something's missing, or there'll just be something underlining where you just feel like you're not really having any forward movement, or that
you're not good enough
with this person. And it took me a minute to collapse my false twin flame experience, because I was in it for like, it was a part of my life for like almost like 7 to 10 years.
Wow.
And when I realized, I'm like, yo, this person is not meant for me, and I need to get out. Something kept telling me to get out. And you have to trust those instincts.
Man, you have to really get quick. Yes, you have to get quick with the intuitive movement and those intuitive choices that are made. Thank God my only lasted, it was probably about 18 months. And it was, the choices that I was making, the things that I was doing, like, were just not for my highest good ultimately, but the lessons on lessons. And now, I was thinking about it because I knew that you were coming on, and the current state of things. I was thinking to myself, do I want to have like any connection to him now, right now, in this life? And I think absolutely not. I just really honestly wish him the best and so much love. I do send him love often because I know him on another level. That the connection is very, very real. And I know him in a way that a lot of other people, probably very few people, know him. But man, it's not for me. It was a lesson that I had to learn. And I think people get that confused. It's not, love isn't supposed to hurt. It's really not.
It's not supposed to feel like that.
No, it's not. And we're taught that, and through songs and through programming and through so many things, that it is supposed to have levels of pain to it. And you got to have the pain to get the suffering, and you got to grind, and you got to do all this stuff. I call him Big Easy, my man now, because it's easy. And he makes it easy. We make it easy for each other. I show up for him in my complete divine feminine, and he shows up in the masculine, and that is what we trigger in each other more than anything. I'm over here, my mom can't even, she doesn't even know what to do with herself, calling me Susie Homemaker, because I'm cooking and baking and do all these things that I never imagined myself doing. Granted, those are worldly examples of how that femininity shows up for me, but on a deeper, more union level, a spiritual level, even a marriage level, because that's conversations that are happening right now in my house. um I feel like it's the way. It's the way, like the Mandalorian says, it's the way. How do you feel like she's supporting you as the masculine? What are some things that she's giving you that you were missing? Maybe that you didn't even know that you, right? We talked about that. There are some things that you have, some additions that you have that you didn't even know that you were missing. What are you surprised by?
She's supporting my expansion and my growth in ways that I never would have thought has been possible. Because of our because we come from different backgrounds and different cultures, and we have different perspectives and different things. It's kind of allowing me to see outside of my rose-colored glasses, the lenses that I was wearing. Even with my consciousness level, she just helps me see much brighter perspective. Um, it enhances my masculinity in ways that really supports the mission work and my purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing for the collective at this time. So she's like my, it's like she's like my, it's weird because typically like women are kind of like in this line of work and they're doing these type of things, but I think our spirit chose for me to do this line of work and kind of her be in the background so that we can have more male voices. So it's kind of like she's like that behind the scenes support for me, so I can get up and go out and do my reads from my highest frequency and be my best self and continuously evolve and grow. She does not allow me to stay stagnant. Don't allow me to make excuses. And I just really love the transformation that I've been having since Spirit has truly brought her in my life on deeper levels. And it's just infinite. The connection that we share, and the things that we've experienced once we came into our full union with ourselves. And it's just been a beautiful experience. And I just want to encourage people to align with themselves so that they can also open that door within themselves, because it's extremely possible.
For everybody.
Possible to, yeah. And it corrects it, and it kind of balances the polarity of the planet when we align with that divine counterpart. Because then we can start moving into our mission work and our divine purpose, and then the frequency of the planet is higher. And not only do the two counterparts in union benefit from that, but the entire collective benefits, and the earth and even the universe benefits from it as a whole. So this is the direction of where life is happening on the planet, where the polarities are balancing and these type of unions are being made manifest.
Absolutely. 100%. I want to touch on something that you said in there that is interesting. And that was that this work is typically done right now by women, at least front facing. That's what we're seeing, is that there's a lot of spiritual teachers who are women. And traditionally, though, once you go back, that's not the case. It was done on both sides, right? Typically, teachers in the church were men, but this and the spiritual work at home was done by women. But there's a dynamic there that I think is true, rings true for what union looks like here as humans, and that is the man going to work and the woman doing the work to shore the man up. And I think that is I know that that's what's happening here. I was definitely a woman who was, I mean, and still am to some degree, a woman who has a lot of masculine energy. And a lot of the masculine energy that I had, right, was just powering forward and creating and working and working and working and grinding and working. And now, having fallen back into this space where I am shoring him up to be able to do those things and do exactly what it is that you talk about Miss Green Eyes doing for you. are the same things that I do for him. And there is so much the other side of that. And I don't know if she said this to you. I'm pretty sure she has. You guys seem like you have really, really good communication. The other side of that is that there's a satisfaction there for me that I never got from going out and pursuing. That I like work, people, whatever it might be, connections, whatever it might be. There's a satisfaction in pouring myself into him and my family that I never imagined and I never thought that I would be able to achieve in a union. I've been married twice before. I don't know what that says about me, but it says something. And I have actually analyzed it. I know what it says about me. But now in this space and time, I understand so much more about how this dynamic really, truly, and I'm hesitant to use the word supposed to, but how it's supposed to work, how it is designed. This is the design that we're seeing being revealed, and not for the first time. It just feels like it's the timing is incredibly important. Like you said, you spoke about on multiple levels, on the earthly level, on a human level, on the collective level, universally. There are ripples to this, right? We're changing the frequency with this. When I interact with Easy and we're doing our thing, and then we both go out into the world, and he is a professional. He's not playing around out here. He touches a lot of people's lives, and he goes out and does what he does, and then I do what I do. The results are the ripple effect from what's happening between us is just unmatched. And so I likewise encourage people to invest in their own alignment, so that we can all get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's do something different than what we have been led to do for thousands and thousands of years. And I really, really, truly think that we have an opportunity to really do some good work. What's next for you guys?
Well, I'm still in the UK. We're still at this point. I've just completely surrendered to my journey, because even when I try to plan things or try to, it's just spirit just takes the wheel. So I'm allowing things to kind of unfold naturally in our connection. We do a lot of work on ourselves. We do a lot of healing. And there's ways that I also like uplift her and allow her to grow and expand. So it's just one of those connections where it's reciprocal. It's, as you pour into your partner, they pour into you, and it's one of the most beautifulest things I've ever experienced. You want to say hello? Say hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm terrific. I'm so glad that you're on, actually, because I I love that you're mid-sentence, Jay, and then you're like, "Hey, you want to say something?" I'm really glad that you're on. Should I call you Miss or Miss Green or Miss Green Eyes?
You can call me by my name. It's Jolene.
Oh, Jolene, I love it. Oh, 2 J's. That's beautiful.
Jolene and Jamiron.
It's beautiful. I love it. I'm glad that you're on, because I wanted to just run through something that I had, a thought that I had earlier. And
Hello?
that was, yeah. Are you guys there?
Hello?
Yep, I'm here. Hey, are you there?
Okay, I got you now.
Okay. I'm glad that she's on for a second, because it's interesting with these union things. How are you guys maintaining your relationships with the opposite sex now that you are in this union situation?
Are you referring to in regards with
like friendships or anything that you guys had before? What's that look like for you?
To be quite honest, before I come into my union with Jay, I was actually on my own for quite a while, just doing work on myself. In regards to male friends. I don't really have any, if I'm honest.
Sure.
I've just got my friends that are around me. Obviously, they're partners, I know, but other like male friends that I have personally for myself, I don't actually have any in that way.
Sure. So it was an easy transition for you.
Yeah,
You were already
it
like,
was an easy transition.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I had children from a previous relationship, so obviously they're still contact with their father, who Jay's met. He's married, so we've always had a good friendship. After the relationship, we did end amicably, which was good.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So other than that, there's no real other like male like relationship, friendship within like for myself anyway.
Okay. Well,
and then I stay to myself, and I've had.
I'm minding my own business.
We're like kind of like the same in that way. Like I just was staying to myself and coming into alignment for this connection. So it was an easy transition for both of us to kind of move into that space.
Oh, that's great. Again, the way was made like you guys are a match, and so it was easy. It's a little bit different for, I don't want to say it's different for us. Because I'm the one who, go ahead.
No, there's fireworks in our background. The neighbors are setting it off.
What's happening? Is it Diwali?
No, it's bonfire night.
Oh wow.
Like for real. We hear it. We hear it on our end. Thanks for the fireworks from over the pond. It's beautiful. We appreciate it. What do you think is okay? So we talked about what's kind of next for you guys. You're sorting through what this looks like, and you're there, and you're letting things develop naturally. What do you feel? And I've seen you here recently, really trying to guide people zodiacally through what it is that we're experiencing. And in case you guys, if you're listening or watching wherever you might be, go ahead and hit that follow button on Instagram. He is at the MFN Magician. You do great readings. Thank you for the service of the tweet readings that are running through right now. They're really great. The Scorpio one that you did the other day was spot on.
I'm happy that it resonated.
Yeah, it definitely did.
He's a Scorpio.
Yeah, Scorpio. I am Scorpio Sun, Aries rising, Cancer moon.
I'm Scorpio Sun, Sagittarius moon, and Scorpio rising.
Sister from over there. I feel all of that. That's great. So were you doing, I know he said this before, were you doing this work before, Jolene? For people spiritual work?
I was working, I've always been into the spiritual side of it, but I was one of those from a child that was kind of suppressed a lot.
Sure.
And I've not had like the right people around me to help me. So it's one of those where if I tried to say something as a child, I'd just be sort of shoved away or be told to stop being silly. So then you just don't say anything.
Right.
So I suppressed a lot of it, gifts and things like that. So obviously as well, being with Jay, he's sort of opening me up again.
Yeah. Like it almost feels like you can't, like there's no containing it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's even like the people that are around me, they're starting to sort of look into it more as well and be more accepting of it. Whereas before, you just feel like you couldn't say anything. So you just sat there, and then in the end, you just sort of forget about it yourself. You just sort of push it to the back of your mind.
Right. Which is so sad and by design, definitely. I feel like that. I feel like we were templated and programmed, right, to shut off our spiritual gifts from a really young age. You look at the programming that we received. And I mean, when I say programming, I mean actual programming from TV, radio, media, all the things were teaching us to have a fear response.
Before. Yeah, I've seen a post before where they say as soon as you're born, you're basically already been given a religion, an identity, a race, a sexual orientation, everything.
Yeah,
it's automatically given to you.
Yeah,
which is wrong, really.
Absolutely. We should be able to identify. We should have the freedom, right? That's sovereignty. That's where sovereignty comes from. The sovereignty to be able to develop those things in due time and with in association with source as well. At least that's my point of view and my belief. Can I think you got some things right here. Okay, so this is what my question is for you guys. What do you feel is next for the collective? What do you feel coming in?
A major transformation and a major transition in awareness, in the way that people identify with themselves and reality. A lot of the masks are going to start coming off. So
literally and figuratively.
Yeah, more people are awakening. So people that have been on this journey, you know, somewhat of like the forerunners who have been grounding these vibrations and holding space, we're going to go deeper into our mission work to help the remainder people in a collective that are transitioning now go through their transformations, and they're going to be able to have, you know, guides and people that they can kind of relate to, and which is why people like us, we've had the different experiences where we had to collapse different timelines, and we had to experience different connections, and we had to learn different various lessons and own our gifts and kind of start exercising our voice. So we're going to be that beacon of light. That spirit is going to actually start working through us to show people the way in regards to navigating this ascension process. I feel like it's going to start being talked more about. It's going to be more acceptable in regards to people feeling comfortable, because there's a lot of people that are having these experiences but not talking about them out of fear of being shamed or judged or ridiculed. Or so there's a lot of people that are regaining their voices and feeling comfortable speaking up in regards to what's actually happening to us and what's been happening to us and how much has been hidden from us in regards to our the reality that we breathe and sleep and function in on a day-to-day basis, and what it really is, and what is our true relationship to it, and the different realms of endurance that we have within ourselves that we can open up to further align with spirit and come into alignment with ourselves on deeper levels. So there's a major awakening process that is happening right now, and a lot of people are shedding a lot of repressed emotions, and which is why a lot of people are also going through a lot of job transitions right now, because a lot of people are on false career timelines.
And like so many more jobs and careers, and you know, entrepreneurship is like the thing, because we're moving into the space where the needs of people, as our true selves are being revealed to us, and then we're in turn revealing those things to other people. There's a whole other aspect of needs that need to be addressed for people, that is happening in an exchange situation where you could call it a job, but this isn't a job. This is like who I am. I think the most important thing that we can do is be. We just need to be. And those of you who are being, in the process of being, who have moved away from doing and into being, it's so very important, that they know that we've got their back, first of all, and second of all, that you let that light shine, because we are this is a beacon situation. We're beacons for those people, and we are only turning lights on for other people. It's not to be followed. This is not a guru situation. This is a situation where
I like when people try to idealize me as someone guru, and I think that's why I started acting a little wild, because that's how it was at one point for me on my page. People were trying to make me out to be their guru. I'm like, look, I'm not no one's guru. I'm still a baby myself, and I'm like, I can't. And then there was so many expectations of how people wanted me to act and how to be, and so one day I was like, yo, I'm about to start really being myself on this Instagram page, and I just started, and I'm like, this is who I am, and I'm not your guru. Everyone has the capability of being their own guru and connect with their own intuition and build their own relationships with spirit. And I'm just going to be here holding space for you while you go through that transformation. So I would like to be titled, not titled or labeled, but I'm just like a space holder for people, you know, to help them across that bridge.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what it is.
I love how you say it, like it's like this gentle thing. I'm just gonna help you across this bridge. Man, if it ain't like ripping off 1,000 band-aids all at one time.
No, for real, it is. And I try to help people heal through humor and you know, because a lot of people, I'm a very comical person.
Sure.
And sometimes I'll be like, am I playing too much, or should I be more serious? But I just try to be fluid and not just put myself into a box, because we've been boxed for so long.
So
and
long.
I just really want to be myself and encourage other people
Absolutely.
to be themselves.
Man, I'll be wilding out here too. And I know it's a turn for people, and it's like a different it's a different side, the opposite side of kind of the same coin. You come at it from a different angle, trying to, what feels to me like, remove the stigma specifically right around union, but specifically around sex and union, and what that, the purpose of that truly is. And I can't get into that today, but we are going to talk about that, because I know that you have in future episodes, because I know that you have so much information to share about that. I come at it from a like I really just want people to see, you know, honestly and ultimately, that anything is possible. I mean, I come from a place where it didn't it what I'm doing now, and how this way has been made for me, and how I've been walking in the way that I have been walking, you wouldn't have ever thought. Just like you were like, I never would have thought that I would be over here doing what it is that I'm doing, and found my partner and all of these things that are happening. I felt the very same. I look at my person and I'm like, how? That's all I say. How? And he's like, he doesn't even ask anymore. How? What? He knows. He's like, I don't know. That's how I know it's spirit. That's how I know it's source.
Yeah, you can't help but, it's like, when people look at you, they know that it's like, yo, God brought these two people together.
Absolutely.
And that's how these unions are. Yeah, because I got, like, my life literally spat me out of Detroit, and it was nothing but God that, like, collapsed my entire life over there, to where it was like I didn't have a choice but to get on that plane and leave, but it's like all roads of my life literally was just guiding me out of Michigan and out of the country, and everything was just aligning so perfectly. That's how I knew there was some type of divine intervention that was moving me and bringing me into this union with my counterpart. And I was a very immature individual for a good deal of my life. And so, with me having to mature myself and to heal to come into this alignment, it was nothing but God that helped me get here, because I didn't know what I was doing.
I had no idea. No idea what I was doing. What's funny is that we were talking about that last night, about like just like looking deep into each other's eyes, and like having all of this connection, and like our third eyes are touching, and doing all this gross stuff that I never thought that I would do with another human being. That's happening with us, right? And we're having this conversation about how he's like, okay, so God brought us together. What does that mean then? How do we keep this same magic? How do we keep this same kind of fire going? Like, we keep God in it. That's how we do it. We keep allowing that union to take place within us, and then to manifest between us, and then all of these other little sprouty, little cute little unions popping up all around, encouraging people to do the same thing for themselves. And also, like, man, not to be afraid of the dark, but keep it as light as possible. Gosh, don't dabble. I'm trying. I'm just, I think if I could, I don't know how to say this to people in a way that doesn't seem trite or old fashioned or anything, but you know what? The devil is real. There's some real darkness out there. And the only way to kind of, no fear again, to stave that off, is to just stay firmly planted in the light as much as you can. I really appreciate you both. So what we're going to do off air, what you guys are not going to see as you're listening and watching, is we're going to book another episode, because I really do want to talk about the actual physical union, because I think I have some information to share in regards to the sex cult of ISIS, and some other things that I know about, and some movement things. And I know what you have been posting lately has been so informative, and I'm blessed enough to have a test subject. I will say that. And it's incredibly helpful, and I mean helpful to him, helpful to both of us, helpful to everybody. I like again, this is the MFN Magician on. I wish I could say that G in magician. You why you line those letters up like that?
The MFN Magician.
It's hard for me to say.
I have no idea. That's just how the name came out. Because I was going by Spiritually Awake 15D for a while.
Yeah.
But then once I really just started coming into my masculinity, it just gave birth to the MFN Magician.
I love it. I love it. It's just hard for me to say.
I like to play jokes when people a little tongue twisted.
I know, yeah, for sure, for sure. But we're gonna talk real soon. You guys have a great evening. Enjoy those fireworks. I'm really happy for you guys. I'm rooting for you 100 all the way in Austin, Texas, along with my entire crew. We turned a lot of people on to what it is that you're doing. Always sending love and blessings and prayers to both of you. And my son is waving to the world and waving to you and saying goodbye.
We appreciate you for having us both on, and I look forward to doing future podcasts with you guys. I enjoy the conversation that gets created when we all get together.
Man, I do too. Do you have any anything you want to drop or anything you want to promo right now? How they can find you best?
I'm going to be expanding to YouTube. Pretty much, I got accounts on pretty much all platforms under the MFN Magician. So I'll be starting my YouTube projects next week. Get back into doing my podcast reads. I do the reads by Zodiac from Tweets now. And then whenever Instagram shadow bans my lives, I can go back to doing the lives on my main account.
Man, what a mess.
So whenever they do that, and then I'll be back. So I'm just doing my best to align with my purpose on all levels, because I feel like now it's time for me to kind of really step in, do my mission work for the collective. And I'm just really happy that there's people out there that are receptive to what I have to share and how I express my energy.
It's lovely. I'm really looking forward to what it is that you are going to create next, both of you individually and together. I appreciate you greatly, and we'll talk real soon.
All right, you all have a blessed evening.
Oh, man, you too. The MFN Magician, everybody. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great
night. Okay. Listen, I think I have to go back on to record here the actual podcast portion of things. So I'm going to do that. Those of you who are watching right here and actually witnessing my son do, this is my life. This is how my life is. He's saying hi. You realize you're saying hi to the world, right? So let me hit this back up. Okay, that was a huge download from the MFN Magician. He is really, really wonderful at what he does. Hey, hi, you want to be on with me or what? No? Okay, then I'm kind of doing a whole thing here.
Has it been an hour?
I told him it was going to be an hour. It has been an hour. We're going to wrap it up right now. I'm going to let you keep, What was that, Shay? Nothing. I'm going to let you keep playing with my hair while I close out the show. What do I want you to know? The takeaways. There are tools out there for you. Absolutely. If you have any questions or need any help, any guidance, please feel free to hit me up. I am at alove_G_ on Instagram. beingalove.com is the website. The spiritualish collective.com is the other website, the business website. You can, of course, hit us up on YouTube. You can listen to the podcast and not have to see any of this right here on Anchor and Apple Podcast and wherever podcasts are heard. We're working on getting it up on multiple platforms. And once that happens, we finna set it off. We're going to keep doing what it is that we're doing. Shay, do I need to talk about anything else that's going on? Nope. I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend. Go ahead and wish me happy birthday. Because this is Scorpio energy out here, and we always about telling you what to do with your lives. I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed Friday, and we will see you back next Friday from an undisclosed location. because this is a time of transformation. If nothing else, we're here to help guide you through that. And Lizzy B will be back too. All our love to ground crew out there. We love you so much. Hit us up on Instagram if you like at the Spiritualist Collective or at _ the Mindful MIsfit. We already gave you the other scoops. Connection is key in getting the most that you want. That tagline actually came straight from Spirit, straight from my guides, and I got marble mouth today. Connection is key in getting the most out of this life. This is existence as it's intended. Get in here. Bye, guys.